Good afternoon, everyone. This is the mini Ice Age rundown from January 10th to January 18th, 2018. And as I talked about in previous videos, look for the food riots to start in smaller countries first. And here we go, Sudan. Bread riots. Protesters killed as the government decides to stop importing grain, leaves it to private companies, which then double the price. Snowmageddon in Switzerland. Over 6 feet of snow has come down. The once in a 200-year flood in France again. So that's twice in 2 years that the once in a 500-year, once in a 200-year flood has arrived. World Meteorological Organization. Stratospheric aerosol geoengineering is now a new type of a cloud. BBC changing its tune now, shifting into telling us previous blizzards are normal, and it's surely going to happen again. Time also shifting gears, telling us about the bombogenesis, that it could make 2018 the worst winter in the US. Gee, I wonder if they're preparing our minds for cooler conditions to come. University of Alaska Fairbanks telling us Alaska was ice-free during the full glaciation. When we look back in time, the medieval warming period warmer than today, and the little ice age, so let's compare those. Alaska was cooler when the planet was warmer, and warmer when the planet is cooler. So what's happening while our planet's cooling? Alaska's getting warmer, yet they're trying to say it's all global warming. 1697, one of the coldest winters that the colonists endured. What did it turn into? Witch trials. They had to blame somebody. There's a direct relationship from cold and witch trials. Let's take a little step back in time. Prince Charles gave us 100 months to avoid the tipping point, and now he gives us 35 more years. What other failed predictions have there been? Oh yeah, sea ice would melt by 2016. I guess not. Antarctic sea ice increasing above last year's levels. And the temperature departure from normal, where have I seen that one before? Oh yeah, the modern minimum temperature reconstruction map. Slurpy waves on the East Coast, and the Google trends for mini ice age and grand solar minimum on the rise. Scientists predict a mini ice age hits the UK by 2030. Well, that'll be a global event. And even at this moment, our infrastructure copes with the cold in the northeast, frozen pipes, nuclear power plants unable to receive power down perfectly good lines with no explanation. Garbage piling up that's becoming a health hazard in New York City. Look back in history, decline in agriculture, the number of wars increased 41% during the cool time. Oh yeah, they forget to talk about population decline. Wolf minimum decline, modern minimum decline, modern minimum and Dalton minimum decline. New global temperature anomalies, Ice Age Farmer giving us this. Russia, minus 70 on the thermometer Celsius, but the news only reporting minus 60. Speaking of news anomalies, you've been told it is record cold only in the United States. Well, let's take a look at the rest of the Northern Hemisphere. In the UK, you're on tap for Category 2 hurricane force winds blowing through today and tomorrow. Indonesia, price controls on rice. Domestic price warnings, Sudan, Sri Lanka, Myanmar for rice. Poor man's fish tripling in price in Malaysia. Recommended rations in Zimbabwe not enough. Knock-on effects from regional shortages pushing prices in Korea. This will be regional. And I do believe prohibition could be in the works again to try to save grain staples as we intensify into this grand solar minimum. Disease is rampant during grand solar minimums in human populations. You know that's going to knock on right into the animal kingdom. Food price rises in South Korea calling flocks. We're going to be reduced down to growing food in these areas of the planet, and this is going to turn into a global knock-on effect. And we're not talking about this right now.